association. So when you get a chance in your free time, you go look up the concept of a 508c18. And once we go in, and once you go in and you look at the tax differences between the 508 and the 501, you will see the reason why we go and we update the occupation to a minister and the employer school to God. We are reclaiming our rightful position, and they can't tax us if this is our occupation and this is our employer, our school. Right? Box 15, 16, 17, skip it. Right? 18, skip. Box 19 is your permanent address, right? The location of the debtor is, except as otherwise provided in this section, the following rules determine a debtor's location. A debtor who is an individual is located at the individual's principal residence. Therefore, entering an address within the IRS, such as the house number, street name, zip code, will re-enter the applicant back into the jurisdiction as a United States citizen, right? Enter the address as rural-free delivery, a service that began in the 19th century. So typically it would look like in care of rural-free delivery, no apartment / suite, right? So that is how that box 19 will look. In care of rural-free delivery, no apartment / suite, right? We're going to get to the explanatory statements that are very critical real soon. That's what that's coming up, right? But box 19, I'm going to ask you for your city, state, and zip. City, Los Angeles, all lowercase. State, all lowercase in brackets. And box 19, you type in everything as you don't want to go in and you enter everything as I have it spelled out right here, right? Do not leave anything out that is being described as a part of this process. So yes, that goes in parentheses after God. Right? If the applicant is not from this country, the address must be a rural-free delivery address within the United States of America. All right? So if if you are not from within this country, then your address must be a rural-free delivery address within the United States to meet the requirement under the INA. Right? Then of course you enter your emergency contact information, all lowercase. Their information, including their street number, zip code, should be all zeros as well. All right. They ask you in box 21 if you've ever applied for a U.S. passport, book, or card. If yes, provide the full name in all lowercase and provide the numbers and the date it was issued. Right? Again, the passport agent will complete the remaining information on the passport and will also check for your identification in addition to the other documents that you need to attach to the application. Remember that you will not or you should not sign the application until you are in front of an agent, as they will serve as your witness. Now, most people, if you've been into these processes, most people that you've likely seen have recommended crossing out words in the terms and conditions section right above signing your name. And I've seen applications get denied for this reason. Do not do this. The application clearly advises you to add statements to your application, and this is what we do. The information we will attach will rebut everything in the terms and conditions. All right. So we're going to go in and we're going to look at some of the documents that we need to successfully complete this process. All right. And again, everyone will receive a copy of this document in addition to the recording, the passport, and everything else you need to have attached to the application. Right. So at the top of every statement you attach, these words should always remain at the top. These explanatory statements are to remain with and attached to the application in order for the passport to be true and correct under the penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of America. It's essentially saying if this application is without and is being without and is being processed without these attachments, then it is being done unlawfully. Right? The first page you lead off is their rebuttal of the acts or conditions. Right? It simply states that in response to page 4, I have not been convicted. I am not the subject. Right? This is your rebuttal to page 4. So this is what they ask you to do to rebut that presumption of participating in the rebellion of being a criminal. Right? This is your actual statement. All right, about preserving your rights. You have never been a citizen. Right? You preserve all of your rights that are created or that are made by your creator. Take equitable notice that you are not a 14th Amendment citizen. Right? So these are rebuttals. All of these are rebuttals. This is a rebuttal to you being a part of the federal corporation that is the United States. Rebutting these presumptions. Right? This is the very last page in your statements. This is your signature page. Right? And this is your penalty of perjury statement. And this is how you sign your name. Last name, comma, first and middle, without the United States. Because you're doing everything under the United States of America. So keep that in mind. When you mention the United States, you always mention the United States of America, not just the United States. All right. So these are your statements. Right? These are going to be emailed to you, but these are the statements that are 100% required to be attached and processed with your passport application. Right? So that will be provided. That's one thing that you do not want to forget. Right? There are also some other pages within this manual that we will discuss, but essentially the GPO style manual of 2016 is where you're going to go in and pull your information, right? Because essentially what this is showing us, right? So the 2016, and this is the only one I look at, right? The 2016 GPO style manual is an official guide to the form and style of federal government publishing. So this document, it essentially gives the government the roadmap to going in and converting a national to a citizen, right? So we want to attach certain pages from the manual to your application as well. So in addition to the passport statements, and this is also listed on your explanatory statements as well. We want to go in and we want to print out pages 1 through 4, right? You can keep this, you can write this down, but this is also going to be on your statements. We're going to go in and print out the actual pages of 1 through 4. So you see XII, not those. The actual page that says 1 through 4. So this is page 1, right? This is page 2. This is page 3. This is page 4. This entire manual, again, shows the government how to convert a national to a citizen. So pages 1 through 4. Page 13, which is this one. Capitalization is the main reason why we print this page out. That is how they convert you. Last page you want to include, so that's pages 1. So in addition to your application, you submit the 4 pages of the explanatory statements that are rebutting the presumptions, including but not limited to the acts and conditions, right? And we also come to the 2016 GPO style manual, and we print out pages 1 through 4, page 13, and page 95. 1 through 4, 13, and 95. 95 is our proof of nationality, right? In designating the natives of the states, the following forms will be used. If you were born in Texas, a Texan, a Floridian, a Georgian, a Hoosier, an Iowan, this is your true nationality, right? So we attach these documents to your DS-11 to prove that you are a national of the state in which you were born, right? So again, as we stated, the final part of the application is drafting the supplemental explanatory statements to attach to the application. Each statement you submit must have at the top, in the center, all caps, and red. These statements are, again, as I stated, to remain with the application in order for it to be processed and to be true under the penalty of perjury under the law of the United States of America. Right? Again, attached to your application, you will submit a copy of your birth certificate. It must be an original copy. If you don't have it with you, order one from Vital Check. Right? If you do not have one with you, if you do not have an original birth certificate with you, order it from Vital Check. Because whenever an entity requests your social security number, they're going to always request an official copy of it. All right. A copy of your photo ID, right? Your acts or conditions rebuttal, your freedom and independence sovereignty statement, which is page 2 under acts and conditions, under the explanatory statements. The third page of the document, which is the religious instructions and beliefs statement, right? The last page is your signature page that describes everything included. And the last attachments are pages 1 through 4, 13, and 95 from the 2016 GPO style manual. So with your application, it's a requirement all of this be attached, and your penalty of perjury statement. right? We've kind of already looked at the penalty of perjury statement. If you were born in the U.S., again, you attach a copy of 1 through 4, 13 to 95, and you want to make sure you add the following statement. This is the statement on page 4 of your explanatory statements. So this statement you see right here is already on the last page of the explanatory statements that you will receive with this recording. All right, and that is it. All applications and the attachments shall be included and is needed to appropriately correct your commercial status. All right. Once you have received the passport book, you do not need to wait for it to come in. Right. So once you have went in and you went online, and I should have updated this to word it a bit better. But once you receive confirmation that your card or book has been approved, it is time to submit your FOIA request to the State Department, right? And your request to the State Department will request that they return a certified copy of each page of that application, right? And so let me go in and see before we get off this call how, let me see if I can go in and pull it up. But again, you're going to receive a copy of this FOIA request as well. But this FOIA request is how you get that certified copy of that non-citizen status, right? So once you get confirmation that everything has been approved, this document on your screen that you're going to receive is what you're going to send to the State Department for a copy of that application, right? The reason why you don't have to wait until you get the actual card and book is because they only need the locator number to pull your application. So once you get that locator number, you come to this document, you fill this information out, and you mail it off. Right? That FOIA request is your request for a certified copy of each page of that application. Right? Again, as we see on the website, they do not provide green cards. So this request is critical. It is your proof of nationality. Your paperwork backs it up. The asterisk, as most people will become to hear about, the asterisk on your passport does not prove your nationality. Right? Again, it's all about putting all parties on notice. So when you get this certified copy back from the federal government, right? Once you get this copy back, you update your social security application. You update your state ID, update your driver's license to advise them that you are not a citizen. Right? Ask them what protections they have for foreign nationals. It differs in each state once you update your status, because once you update your status, then you abide by the laws of the Bill of Rights, the Articles of the Constitution, and your state constitution. That's why reading your state constitution is very critical as well, right? Because those are the laws that you follow. The FOIA request is $50. So $50 money order needs to accompany that document, right? Again, this method does resolve the hassle of receiving a lawful permanent resident card for aliens or foreign nationals, right? Right, and that is the end of this class. Again, you will receive a copy of this recording of this PowerPoint of the explanatory statements, which are the 4 pages, rebutting the acts and conditions, the sovereignty statements, the religious beliefs, the penalty of perjury statement. You will also receive a pre-filled copy of the application just to show you how it should be done as well. But based on everything we discussed in this class, you should be able to go in and complete it if you haven't already. And this is more so for the people that are not on the call. Based on going in and reviewing everything taught and discussed in this class, the process should be fairly easy for you to go in and complete. Based on the processing times of all passports at the moment, I recommend you going to get this process done as soon as you possibly could. Right? Again, once you go in and you request that book and that card, request an expedited service. Because as you request your expedited service, that's going to be the quicker you can get your FOIA information back in from the state. It took me about 4 months to get my FOIA information from the time I requested it. Right? So you want to make sure you get that requested as soon as possible and as early as you possibly could. Because you can't start updating anything until you have it. So again, don't wait for the card or the book to come in. Make sure it's processed. And when you go check the status, as soon as you have that locator number, submit that FOIA request to the State Department and attach that $50 money order. Right? And if you have any questions, feel free to go in and drop them in the box. Now, if we don't add an address, how do we get our password? That address is required. You cannot submit the application unless you have an address associated with it. Right? Right? Do y'all have any more questions? And again, I do want to reiterate this for the people that were not on the call because there are over 70% of people that have purchased the seat that were not on the call tonight. This recording in full has concluded and it will be sent to you as well as all necessary documents included within the passport, right? If you have any questions in the meantime while we are getting things set up, feel free to email me. I will get back to you within 12 hours of you emailing me. If you need me to review anything, review an application, review your statements, or what have you, send the documents over to me so I can review it before you go in and process it with the passport agent. But go in tonight and schedule your appointments for your passports. So that way, even though you don't have the application complete right now, you have that appointment set up. So time is of the essence with that for sure. Right? And if there are not any other questions, I'm going to go in and end this call, and you all enjoy the rest of your night. But yes, again, this is the process you go through for your kids as well. You can do this process for anyone. So the age really doesn't matter. All right. And you all enjoy the rest of your night. Again, if there are any questions, feel free to email me until we go in and get chat and support set up. You all enjoy the rest of your day.